Coming up on today's episode, a lot of week 2 action. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, another game-winning drive to start off the season 2-0. Colts are 2-0. Some surprising teams. Daniel Jones is balling. We had a lot of QB injuries. We'll get into who's going to survive. And then the Dolphins' downfall is on. All that coming up. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sports Talk from the Crib. I'm your host, Tanner Christian. A lot to talk about today. Great NFL Week 2 action. A lot of, fast starts. Teams a little surprising. Players a little surprising. And their hot starts. And also, we had a lot of quarterback injuries happen over the weekend. But first, if you're new, episodes are airing every Tuesday and Friday. It's available on all streaming platforms. Check out the website at sportstalkfromthecrib.com. We'll be able to stream the podcast on there, as well as check out all the latest action we got going on. I got my co-host, Cole Bean, my dog, pup, doing game picks with us on a weekly basis. Follow us on social media. It's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, we're on it. At Feely Heat Entertainment. It's Feely Heat ENT. So go give us a follow, subscribe on our social media networks. Follow the puppy. Hey, we're doing good. Let me tell you guys, what were we, 11-5? We picked different teams. We're not always picking the same exact, team for the game. So we switched it up. Like she ended up getting 11-5, and I got 11-5. But I had the Texans on Monday night, and she had the Bucs. So Coco Bean ended up tying it at the end. We both had the Chargers. So we're 11-5 for last week. I think what were we the first week here? 9-7. So we still got the same records going on, 20-12 to start the year. So we're through week 2. We'll see how week 3 fares for us and see if we can. I got to break the gap. I mean, I can't have a dog beating me or tying me in these game picks for the NFL, I'm supposed to be the expert, I thought. But anyways, guys, let's get into the first topic of the day. Let's talk about that Monday Night Football game between the Bucs and Texans. Came down to the wire. Buccaneers got the game-winning TD as time expired. Rachaad White scored it on the rushing touchdown. And let me just say this. Baker Mayfield may not wow you in the stats, but to see this guy's resurgence now is just unbelievable. He had 215 passing yards, a couple of TDs on the night. He may not have thrown for 404 TDs and looking, like your Hall of Fame type quarterback, but this guy has will. He's got heart, and he plays his heart out, man. He puts it on the line, game in, game out, and now has led the Buccaneers to a 2-0 start. And they game-winning drives. Final 2 minutes of the game. They did against the Falcons. I think it was a little over 2 minutes, but 2 game-winning fourth quarter drives to start the season off and been very impressive, The defense even came strong on when they stopped Houston. They were at the 1-yard line, 3 straight downs. Couldn't score. It was turnover on downs. And Houston still had every opportunity to win. They even had Nick Chubb go in from 25 yards out, take the lead, but Baker Mayfield says, you know what, I'm him. Leads him down the field, and they get the game-winning touchdown. So, the Buccaneers, look out for them in the NFC South. I thought Atlanta would take that next step. I believe they are going to be getting better as the year goes on. But don't sleep on Baker Mayfield, man. The guy goes out, he wins. He does his thing. Speaking of a quarterback that's doing his thing, though, out here in the NFL, how about Daniel Jones, everybody? Yes, that quarterback from the New York Giants that didn't do much, had injuries, concussions, and neck injuries, and just couldn't figure out Brian Daboll's offense. He struggled, but they finally got him somebody last year, in a receiver, and look what happened, he stripped out. But so they had Saquon Barkley at once. That makes look good, try to make you look good, right? Didn't really happen with Daniel Jones, but guess what? He's starting off the year 2-0 for the Indianapolis Colts. And talk about a huge win yesterday, another game winner, a field goal here. 29-28 win over the Denver Broncos. And what's really helping Daniel Jones out is you got Jonathan Taylor. He's back, man. 165 yards on the ground. He caught a couple balls for 50 yards and a touchdown. But Daniel Jones is 2-0. Everybody, what a great decision bringing him in over Anthony Richardson, huh? But anyways, check it out. He's at 81 total QBR. That's 5th in the NFL. He leads the NFL in yards per attempt. Yes, not a Pat Mahomes or a Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. No, none of those guys. He's averaging 9.3 yards per attempt. That is leading the NFL. He's balling out there. Michael Pittman Jr. is loving it. He's getting the ball downfield. Alec Pierce, of course, Jonathan Taylor in the run game is looking great. It's just, who are these Colts? Is the offense really working under this guy or what? But it's been very impressive. Can he sustain it is the biggest question. AFC South is wide open. Tennessee, rookie quarterback Cam Ward. Houston, struggling. Offensive line is horrible. The defense does this thing at times, gets after the quarterback, but their offensive line is horrible. Their offense in general has not looked very good. They can't really run the ball. Nick Chubb's up there in age. They got the young rookie in the 4th round marks. Didn't really get a whole lot of playing time. Maybe he gets more as the season progresses and he learns, passing protection and whatnot. Joe Mixon, there's a big question on that. I don't even know if he's going to play. Is he coming off IR? We don't really know. I think they're missing his presence out there because he really balled out the final few games of the season last year. So Houston's struggling, right? Christian Kirk's been out. The other receiver they brought back in. So it says CJ Stroud's not looking too sharp as well because the offensive line is so horrible. Larry Tunsil, you trade him away, and he was the only real piece on your offensive line. Now you got nobody. What are you thinking? Got a young QB. We got to protect him, right? And they're not doing that. So, but anyways, these Indianapolis Colts are doing their thing. Titans, like I say, rookie QB, CJ Stroud. You never know what Jacksonville's doing with Trevor Lawrence. One minute he looks good. The next minute you're like, who is this guy? Is he a pro quarterback or not? That's what you think about Trevor Lawrence. You got Brian Thomas Jr., heck of a player out there, at receiver. Get him the ball, right? So I don't know what's really going on in Jacksonville. One minute he looks good. One minute you're wondering if he's an NFL pro-style quarterback. But like I said, AFC South's wide open. So why not the Colts, right? Why not Daniel Jones? What a story that would be if come the end of the year and Indianapolis Colts win the division with Daniel Jones. Who's fooling us? Or do we fool ourselves with that prediction? And I picked the Texans to win the AFC South, so I still think they can. They just got to fix the offensive line production. It is bad. And it's been happening all last year. It's like they didn't address it. They just made it worse. So I think that's really going to hurt them in the end. So that's why the Indianapolis Colts are really the team to probably beat in the division. All right, let's jump into QB injuries because, guys, it is bad. Week 2 saw a lot of it. We saw a couple in week 1, but now week 2 has really put the icing on the cake. Let's start off with the biggest one, Joe Burrow. Turf toe, out at least 3 months. The Bengals this year, we knew how bad they were in defense. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase were putting up MVP historical numbers because their defense was just so bad. And their defense still is bad. Now you got Jake Browning being your quarterback. He did step in for Joe Burrow previously. Did okay. He's going to put up some numbers, but he's also going to probably turn the ball over. And put that on top of everything, the Cincinnati Bengals probably are done. Let's call it what it is. He's not going to be able to throw for 4 passing touchdowns every game. so they could stay in it because their defense is so bad. Got Trey Hendrickson. Who else you got? Nobody. So this is really going to hurt this Bengals team. I don't want to say they're completely done, but I'm saying they're completely done. You got the Steelers. I mean, they're not going to run away with it, but there's just no catching Baltimore, despite them losing that home opener and blowing that lead to Buffalo. So Baltimore is still going to be the team. Cleveland Browns is the Cleveland Browns. I mean, I call them the Cleveland Clowns for a reason. They're not all that. So you literally look at it, that's why Baltimore has been so dominant over the years, because their division really hasn't lived up to the hype as it once did. So that's a huge loss for Cincy, and I just don't see this team recovering this year. You're going to see some disappointing stats in fantasy football from probably Jamar Chase, your number 1 overall pick in the coming weeks. Let's go to the next one. Jaden Daniels injured his knee. He's listed as day-to-day. He possibly could miss this upcoming week. We don't know for sure. They face the Las Vegas Raiders. So we will see what happens there. They also lost Austin Eckler to an Achilles. So Washington, I mean, they have Marcus Mariota as the backup. He's serviceable. He knows how to run this type of offense. But another one, man, this Jaden Daniels, man, rookie of the year. It's a huge loss if he's not being able to go. Brock Purdy has a toe injury. We saw Matt Jones fill in. He did okay, had some flashes, but also had some boneheaded miss throws. But I think Mac Jones is serviceable in this offense. J.J. McCarthy played like a rookie the other night. Oh, man, was it bad. Horrible showing against Atlanta. He's going to be out maybe 2 to 4 weeks with a high ankle sprain. And Justin Fields is in concussion protocol for the New York Jets. So I guess the next question is which of these teams is doomed? Which of them is going to be okay? I'm going to tell you, Bengals, they're doomed. The Washington Commanders, I think they can hold on. Like, if it's just a week or two he may miss, I believe the Washington can hold on, even though their offense has been struggling coming out the gate. Brock Purdy, San Francisco, I mean, they are a better team this year. But as we saw with New Orleans, Mac Jones was serviceable enough to come out with the victory. I don't see the Niners being doomed if Purdy, say, would miss another 2-3 games, which could be likely. The Vikings, I mean, let's be real. You got Carson Wentz coming in and being your backup. The way J.J. McCarthy was playing, I'm saying you're doomed. Carson Wentz, he's been, his sixth team in 6 years now? I can't remember. I name them all. I believe it's like that. He played for Washington. He's played for the Rams. Of course, he played for the Eagles. You know, jeez, man. Who he played for last year? Chiefs. That's right. He backed up Pat Mahomes last year. He played for the Colts. Remember that 1 year in Indy? That didn't work out too well. He didn't play for the Commanders after that. It wasn't too hot. And the Rams is back up. Chiefs back up. And the Vikings here now. And supposedly he's lightening up in practice with the stars. Can you imagine? Kevin O'Connell is a heck of a quarterback coach. Maybe he gets a little bit of the old Carson Wentz back. I can't really see him relying on Carson Wentz like that. So I think the Vikings may be a little bit doomed this year. Justin Fields, the Jets. I mean, he signed a 1-year contract. The Jets are just doomed because it is the Jets. I have no faith. Kind of like Miami, right? So I think their Jets have just been doomed from the start and the way they went. And choosing, I'd say Justin Fields is bad, but it's not great either. So that's just my take on these QB injuries and if they're going to be doomed or not in the weeks coming forward. Okay, so the final topic of the day, I just have to do it because it's so embarrassing to watch this team play and to see their press conferences between their head coach, their quarterback, and what the fans had. And, raised it in a GoFundMe to have fly across the stadium. Yes, I'm talking about those spectacular Miami Dolphins. So they had to fire McDaniel, fire Chris Greer, banner flying across the stadium before the game started. And I knew this was going to do it. It was in talks after that horrible loss in week 1 that they were going to start a GoFundMe and do this, and they did it. They raised enough money, and they got it flown above the stadium. Everybody out there is looking at it. They played better. They lost 33-27 against the Patriots this past week. They had every chance to win, and then they want to blow it. And Tua had the numbers, right? You're going to look at the stats saying, wow, look how accurate he was. Threw it for over 300 yards. Threw some touchdowns, like great, right? But you just look at the game, you go, it's just basically him dumping it off the Devon A-chain and letting him run wild, or heaving it up to Tyreek Hill. Hopefully he comes down with it because it's so inaccurate. Make the adjustment, and then you see these post-game conferences, and you just ask yourself, why? Mike McDaniel comes up saying, if you lose the game, then you lose the game. We play the game to win the game. But if we lose it, then, I don't know, whatever he was saying, you just go and you're like, this is our head coach. Like, every press conference gets worse and worse and worse. I feel like he's just trying to get fired at this point because he doesn't want to stick around and deal with this crap either. And I don't blame him. I don't blame anybody within this organization. It's been like this for years. It's never going to change unless we actually have a head coach with some discipline and can develop players. The players at Miami, they look good. They have flashes, right? You see them, and they're like, oh, man, he was good this year. The second year comes around, you're like, what happened? Oh, there's a steep drop-off. Like, this year we're getting all our pass rushers back. So you're like, oh, Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, Chop Robinson, all these guys are healthy. And then you just don't get any sacks. So it's like our strength is not it. And we got Anthony Weaver, who we brought over from Baltimore to be our defensive coordinator. And what has he done with this group? We got rid of Jalen Ramsey. He's balling out in Pittsburgh, right? So maybe that wasn't Minka Fitzpatrick. I don't even know if he's on the field. Making his second go-round here with Miami Dolphins. Is he on the field? I don't see him. Somebody please point him out to me. Maybe I will see him. Or do I got to pull tape from like 5 years ago to find him in a Miami Dolphin uniform? That's where I'm at. Because I don't see him. And the offensive line, this is horrible. We got Austin Jackson back out being on IR. And hey, you wanted to sign him. Listen, this is why Miami Dolphins fans had to fire Mike McDaniel and to fire Chris Greer up going above the building because we can't take it no more. We're tired of it. We get our hopes up every time, and then you fail us. We try to believe in your vision. We're like, okay, I didn't want to draft Tua. I wanted to draft Justin Herbert. Okay, you know what? Finally, I give in, and I'm going to believe the process. I'm going to think we're going to win. I'm going to believe what your plan is for the next few years. Guess what happens? This dude is in year 6. Tua Tagovailoa is in year 6. I do not want to wait and see what happens. If we're in year 6, I should know if you're going to be a starting caliber quarterback or not. It doesn't matter how bad the offensive line is. I don't care if you have enough for our receivers. I don't care if you have a bad defense. I should be able to see something that makes me believe. I don't see it. Coming on this press conference, he's another one. We're in there practicing. We believe we could possibly have been 2-0 to start this year. Hey, guess what? You're not. You're 0-2. You look horrible in game 1. You started off game 2 here and threw an interception, but we got lucky. There was a penalty and it got called, or else we would have been looking at probably the same thing happen like we saw happen in week 1. Let's be real. Fire Chris Greer. You know why we need to fire Chris Greer? Because remember that 2020 draft where we had 3 first-round picks? We had like 5 picks in the top 60 in that draft. Guess what number 1 was? Tua Tagovailoa. We drafted Austin Jackson and Kai Inouye. Those are our 3 first-rounders. We got Robert Hunt, and then we got, I forget who the other guy was that we had, but this is a draft that had a lot of people. This is a draft that had the likes of a Justin Herbert be a quarterback. This is a draft that had CeeDee Lamb that got drafted before us here. And Justin Jefferson, he was after our pick. Jonathan Taylor, Tristan Wirfs. So we saw, he's currently injured now for the Bucs, but he's a heck of a left tackle. There's too many people in that draft. I think Ladarius Sneed was in this draft. You had so many people. I'm missing a lot of people in this draft. But this draft was loaded with talent on both sides of the ball, and we whiffed on every single one of them. At least get 1 out of the 5 right. You think about it, this one of them. We question their picks then. We question them now. We always question their draft. Where's the rookies at this year? Where's our first-round pick, Kenneth Grant? Where is he? All the buzz in training camp. We love him, right? Pair him with Zach Sealer. Look what happens, man. We're going to be wrecking with in the middle. Can't stop the run. Can't stop the pass. Can't get after the pass. We can't do anything on defense. What, you know what I mean? Where's the talent? Where's the coaching? It's never going to be there. And then guess what? It's only going to get bad because it's a short week and they're traveling to Buffalo to face Josh Allen and the 2-0 Bills, who Josh Allen is 12-2 career against Miami and undefeated on Thursday Night Football. Oh my goodness, it could get bad real quick. Even uglier. Just wait. I'm afraid to watch the game. It may be 40-0. Whew. I'm hurting inside as a Miami Dolphin fan because Chris Grier has to go. Mike McDaniel has to go. I guess Brian Flores was right about this team and organization. He's not looking so bad now, right? Tyreek Hill has to go. Let's face it. This whole team's got to get blown up, but their contracts, to what Chris Grier reworked these contracts in, man, it's going to be a lot of dead money, and it's very hard to get out of a lot. So whoever inherits this team, 2026 ain't going to look too good either because of what he's done on our salary cap and what he's guaranteed some of these players that just have never lived up to the hype, and we're not going anywhere. We need to get draft capital. We need to get a head coach. We need to get a GM, and the owner can just go away because he has done absolutely nothing since getting this team ready to be in the playoffs, ready to be a contender. Yes, they made playoffs. You can say, hey, they made the playoffs last couple years, but what did they do? We know they got smoked. We knew they had no chance. This team is this not it. And it's gotten to a point where it's real sad. Like, don't give up, right? Season young. They could be 0-3. Don't give up. Listen, this game in Buffalo is going to be ugly. I'm scared to watch it. I don't know if I will even watch a second of it. Let's say somehow Miami wins. Buffalo lays an egg, but I don't see Sean McDermott and Josh Allen coming into this game unprepared. Man. Hopefully, some point in time, the Miami Dolphins will be good again. Even if they were good, even if they were like Baltimore getting to the playoffs and losing, like when you think you had a team or something, like at least be like that. At least be good when you lose, when you know we had effort, you know we tried, you know we laid it all on the field. At times, you see guys trying, but then it's like everything that happens just brings them down. A penalty, bogus play call, missed assignments, like keep going. But hopefully at some point in time in my life, the Miami Dolphins would be good again. All right, now that's going to do it for today's show. And thank you all for joining me on Sports Talk from the Crib. I'm your host, Tanner Christian. Check out the website at sportstalkfromthecrib.com. You can sure to follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Safili He Entertainment. When you go on the website, you can subscribe and follow to all those streaming platforms and social media sites. So go check us out. Coco, our pup, is doing the game picks with us. So be sure to check us out on the YouTube Shorts and TikTok. Give us a follow. Thank you all for joining me again. You have a great day. I'll see you all on Friday's episode.